It looks straight. That's fine. Okay, whatever. Okay. Hi. Let me introduce myself. My name is Marcus Gonzalez, and I am one half of the Fancy King crew. Just one half. My partner, somewhere else. Um, and what I want to do is I want to have this conversation because there's some things that need to be said, some things that need to be clarified, and there's some things that we are going to do that we hope you really enjoy. Um, so first things first is I created this deck, and I'm using the Ace of Spades because Ace of Spades is awesome. And it was my idea, I went through, because I love the idea of the stolen cards deck. You can go buy them for like $40 from like Penguin Magic and stuff like that. But the idea is, what you guys have all seen in the campaign. But I made this deck for myself. And what happens is when you open up, 50 plus decks of cards and take all the aces out, now you have 50 plus decks of cards without any aces. So that's where it came from, was just, all right, we'll just take and assemble the rest of these decks, and have people pledge for them. And what's going to be even better is we're going to purchase rare cards, put those in. We're gonna make we want a deck of like our favorite work from our favorite artists like Jackson Robinson, the guys over at Kings Wild, the guys over at Crooked Kings, guys over at Gambler's Warehouse and their design crews and stuff like that. Like, because from the beginning, we love playing cards. From the beginning, we love supporting the community. This is why we go and we purchase decks from private collections. Why we have, and I've had personal conversations with these designers. Why we purchase from different storefronts, from all over the U.S., from all over the internet. We want our support. That's why we shout out other people. We launched this Kickstarter campaign, and I shout out Ember Waves because I love what they do. I recognize what they do, and I want their stuff to get funded. You know, so making this, there was never any malintent. We There's been this shit storm that has brewed recently over the past weekend. That we're taking people's decks and we're profiting off of them, and that's wrong. That's never been the case. Now, honestly, my eyes weren't open to it when we initially did it. I didn't think about that because we weren't making this with the intent of making a profit. We were just taking the money that we would get from the Kickstarter and purchasing these awesome ass decks. Like we just got in the Arum deck, which is gonna go into the deck. We got the Arum deck. Like, this deck alone is $65. But if you purchase 50 decks of cards that are all ranging $20 to $50 and above, you're running thousands of dollars. And that's why our goal was only $600 to begin with. Another one. We got the Chancellor deck in. We're definitely throwing the Chancellor deck in. Like, beautiful deck. Yeah. So the intent was never bad. Like, we're not looking to rip off artists or anything like that. So with some consideration, like I had a conversation with Dave Edgerly, who's now ignoring me, but basically he opened my eyes to me using other people's work to advertise the Kickstarter campaign, and that gets a little blurry with it being morally and legally wrong. So what I did was I removed everything that did that over my social media accounts, Instagram at Fancy King Playing Cards, and on Facebook, the Fancy King Playing Cards page. I removed all that did that. And somehow I was still labeled negatively for doing that, which I thought was just the decision I made was out of respect for artists. You know, so what we're doing is we are going to cancel the project. We're going to cancel this project, and I'm sorry. You guys have been amazing. You guys have shown us a lot of support. You guys are awesome. But we are going to cancel the project today, shortly after I launch this update. But it's all is not over because first off, we are still going to make this deck. Second, we are still going to keep up with our statement of supporting the community, even though they have shown us just how dog eat dog they can be. Not the entire community, but little sections of it. Third, we're going to give you this deck absolutely for free. And there isn't a damn thing that anybody can do about that. So, what we've done is we've set up a GoFundMe page. If you go over to gofundme.com/FancyKing, Fancy King is just singular. What you're gonna do is you're gonna see a small campaign. It's like $100 goal or something like that. All we want is for you guys to, for the U.S. backers, you can donate $4. That's going to cover your shipping costs for the deck and the actual containers. You know, we get to ship it, the boxes and whatever. For international backers, $14 because it is way more expensive shipping stuff overseas. And that's something I didn't realize, and that's why it's such a big difference between the shipping costs, U.S. to international. We made the mistake when we made our Quinzel deck here, is I made shipping free. So I took a huge hit when I sent these overseas. So yeah, yo, this is yours. This is our gift to you guys. You guys have shown an amazing amount of support, and we love you guys. And what I don't understand is this deck. The reason why we put together, you know, from our favorite designers, is because it creates a segue. There's a few of you who are beginners at collecting cards. Please don't kill me if I've mispronounced your name, but Tin Chi Jin, you know, beginner at collecting cards. Renee Flora, who expressed she's just now starting to get into it and she's falling in love with it. This deck, besides it being a talking piece, besides it being, you know, a basic magic trick, it's a segue. This is a segue for collectors to start going out and making purchases from other designers, from other artists, from other card creating stables. You know, if anything, it's like free advertising. But, you know, you guys have been amazing, so we're gonna give you this deck for free. You know, and there's like upwards of 40 of you guys. So just go over, you make that donation. If you want, you are more than welcome to pledge more than the $4 or $14 because, you know, we're coming out of our pockets for everything. You know, producing the tuck boxes, getting all the fulfillment, all the shipping out. We're covering all that cost. If you want to help us out, that would be amazing. But you guys have been outstanding. Lee, you know, you're awesome. David, awesome. GB, I see you on Instagram, dude. You know, everybody else, Andrew, Neil, I'm gonna miss you guys, you know. Steven, Jason, Relic, Glenn, Derek, Philip, Dan, Willard, Brian, Neil, Jeff, Jocko, you know, you guys are awesome. You guys, you know, we're getting this done, and there isn't anything that's gonna stop us. From the beginning, it's always been about supporting the community. It's always been about our love for playing cards. It's always been about, you know, our love for the artwork, for the, you know, the designs and stuff. So let's get this out there. And the other thing I'm going to do is for all of you guys that backed here, you know, you make the donation, then you send me your address through the Kickstarter messaging or on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Once you do that, we're working on our next deck of cards now that is going to be that we're going to have printed by the Expert Playing Card Company. It's a hand-drawn deck. It's vintage 1930s, and the entire deck is going to be a chalkboard design. We're going to guarantee you'll be guaranteed a spot for the early bird special, just as a way of saying thank you, because all of you guys, your support has been phenomenal. We're new to this, you know. There's, like we created, you know, when we made the Quinzel deck, like we were new to this whole thing. A little rough around the edges, but you know, we got it done, and it was a learning experience. And this campaign was another learning experience. So thank you, and we will see you soon, or you will see a part of us soon.